Hello, good evening.
Evening to you.
Hello. Oh, Catherine's here. Hi,
Oh, now I
Catherine.
can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Can you hear
That's
me
weird.
okay?
Yeah, now I
Okay,
can.
good. Did you get your taxes sorted out?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
I thought that we were going to have to fill out this form and because we did, our own on TurboTax and I just thought, oh, this is going to take longer than I thought. And
Oh,
yeah, I want to say I got it done like a quarter to 10. So
okay, good. Good.
yeah.
Well, at least it's done. You,
Yeah.
you gotta love that time of the year, huh?
Yeah, we usually do it long before this, but we saw that, and we did them like months ago, but then we saw that we owed federal,
Yeah.
so we've just waited, and yeah, but now, because I guess I didn't entirely do our state or whatever, and we can't claim our daughter as a dependent on federal anymore,
Ah,
but I guess we can on state. So we were getting a little bit back in state, but once I added her, it the exact amount that we're getting back in state is the exact amount that we owe federal.
that's
So
what
I'm
happened to
like, okay,
us.
we're even Steven.
Yeah.
This
Well,
year,
hey, at least you don't owe.
right?
Because
Right.
that happened to us. Our tax person said, well, you owe, I can't remember which one, state, but then, or maybe it's you owe federal, but state you're getting back. And it was a complete even. So I don't know if they just like say, oh, well, they owe and we owe. So I don't know if they just give one check just to the other, hand it off to the
I
other.
I
I,
don't think so. I
okay. I got to
think
find.
and actually I didn't know this on TurboTax to because we did the free TurboTax,
Oh,
and in order to do federal and state together, you pay $30. You have to pay
okay.
$30, and I can't do that until Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm going to have to wait. But they usually ask for, okay, you're getting a refund, and or they could have just taken out what we owed or what we got back from federal. But since we're owing federal, we can't do that.
Okay.
So yeah, we gotta use like a card or something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. Fun taxes.
it
Oh,
would have been nicer to get a whole chunk of change back, but oh well.
yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
those days are over with.
Yeah. 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 All right. Well, Catherine, are you all done with your taxes?
Yeah, we're all done.
Good. Yay.
I didn't even
Can I,
see you
I
on
get it.
there. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Huh?
I don't know why you're not showing up on my screen.
really? You
That's
don't see her?
weird. Well, I do
Hi.
now. Hi. Hi. I'm so sorry. You know what? Because I enlarged you
Oh,
and
that's
it just
why.
showed. So, oh, I'm so, how embarrassing.
No,
Here
no.
I am. I'm telling Catherine all about
That's
our
okay.
taxes. She's probably thinking, can we please get started in the class?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, no worries.
I
No,
was writing everything you were saying. I'm just
there you
kidding.
go.
I wasn't.
Really? And
I
you're going to
wasn't.
submit it to the IRS?
I am.
Yeah.
Hey, this chick isn't going to pay her
I'm
taxes.
just
Yeah. Oh, man.
Do you need a job, ma'am?
Yeah. Oh. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Here we go. Anything, appreciate, care, might, able, reply, while, bad, truly, ever, call, went, yesterday, money, making, hand, month, still, look, done, friend, expect, even, case, pleased, writing, thought, keep, favor, nothing, regarding, both, something, getting, necessary, given, line, balance, answer, department, name, girl, bed, enclosing, therefore, mail, fact, instructions, heart, news, October, study, learn. All right. My allergies were so good today, and then all of a sudden it just hit. All right, so let's do some doublets. Here we go. Modeling agency, singing telegram, karate instructor, ice cream cone, recreational vehicle, cooking utensils, veterinary hospital, hair ornament, stock exchange, pharmaceutical lab, prosthetic device, short duration, geological survey, mechanical pencil, foreign exchange, postage meter, seed catalog, Venetian blinds, acupuncture clinic, brokerage house, leather belt, suede jacket, shop apron, upholstery cleaner, energy conservation, Polaroid camera, ornamental iron, lithographic plate, knitting needles, embalming fluid, paint removal, contact lenses, chemical waste, theatrical makeup, drug rehabilitation, bridal shower, beverage cooler, textile mills, video recorder, sheepskin rug, plaster cast, peanut butter, profit margin, vacuum relay, welding torch, diving mask, litter bag, barbecue grill, adhesive tape, cotton socks, nylon stockings, index cards, ledger sheets, acoustical tile, and litter bag. All right. Now, this drill focuses on be, being, been. So I'm going to give you the phrases first and then the sentences, okay? Will be, should be, has been here, is being afraid, can be, could be, have been. Now, I don't know if you guys know these phrases, but has been is H-A-B. Had been is just H final B. Have been is initial V final B. So, okay. Now I figured you did, but all right. So then we have could be, have been there, are being tired, shall be, would be, had been gone, am being aware. I might be there, be true to him. Can you be there? Be sure about it. Where will you be? Can you be certain? He has been there. I am being unfair. Have you been home? He is being nice. It has been ages. Who is being asked? He has been told. I hate being stung. Have you been here? We have been here an hour. When has he been to court? It is being considered. They are being mailed. My being here is nice. The case has been appealed. His motion has been heard. He has been a good friend. Has the dog been bathed? Who is being elected? He is a human being. It's nice being home. Being on time is important. You are being stubborn. He has been here before. Are you being facetious? It has been a blessing. Who is being invited? I have been too lenient. I am being unreasonable. That's what I've been told. They are being quiet. They have been had. She is being chosen. Who is being excluded? Have you been to Texas? I have been ready for hours. The trial has been postponed. I hate being wakened. I have been true to you. All right. Now, I'm going to give you guys some different words. These all end with ment. We've been working on these. Okay, here we go. Installment, enlightenment, disagreement, arrament, avertment, environment, appeasement, discontentment, entertainment, apportionment, abridgment, document, elopement, claimants, appointment, disengagement, detriment, demented, advancement, adjournment, sediment, deportment, presentment, enticement, disengagement, entrancement, presentiment, rearrangement, pronouncement, disfigurement, instillment, entailment, parchment, abutment, sentiment, enlargement, enshrinement, enthronement, recommitment, complement, abasement, abatement, confinement, affirmment, disbursement, escarpment, recommitment, insistment, envelopment, recoupment, amazement, requirement, amendment, announcement, emplacement, disenfranchisement, statement, investment, shipment, annulment, disenchantment, disembowelment, amortizement, advertisement, divestment, embodiment, adornment, allurement, allotment, acquirement, achievement, discernment, alignment, affirmment, monument, inclement, torment, firmament. All right, there's more, but we're going to stop there for now. Now I'm going to give you I'm going to go down this list and give you briefs. And if you have any questions about any of these, just let me know and I'll give you them. Okay, a lot of these I write out so that it's just good word practice anyways. Okay, here we go. Intelligence, involve, issue, judgment, jurisdiction, juror, jury, jury room, justice, justification, knowledge, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, liability, manner in testifying, manner of testifying, marijuana, material, matter, means of knowledge, method, motorcycle, national, negligence, not guilty, object, objection, observation, observe, on or about, opening statement, operate, opinion, opportunity, ordinary care, pain and suffering, party, permit, plaintiff, prejudice, premeditate, premeditation, presence, presume, presumption, presumption of innocence, procedure, proceed, produce, property. Oh, hi, Olivia. Olivia joined us. Hello. It's great to have you. All right. So if you guys have any questions about those. Oh, method. Catherine asked about method. Okay. So they have it as METD with the flag, which doesn't make sense because unless they're talking about striking both of these at the same time with your pinky, but they have it as METD with the flag. So I don't know why you couldn't do MEGT and then flag it, you know. No, that wouldn't work because of meth and methamphetamine. So that's what this says, METD with the flag. So I don't know. DZ. Okay. Yeah, so with the wide ZZ, you can do it. In Pandora, you do it without the flag?
Is that from that list that I gave you?
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I do ME, and yeah, you just kind of have to strike. Oh, you do DZ though, but I learned it as between the T and the D.
Yeah.
So that's how I do it
with
now.
the flag.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't
But I
even
don't do the
you would
flag.
have to flag it if you do that METD. It doesn't conflict.
Unless they use that for another one.
Yeah.
That particular school. I don't know.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So let me know if you guys have any other. Oh, Olivia said she does THOD for method. So it's kind of like you're just doing the thud, THOD. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yep. I like that. I'm writing that down too. THOD for the last part of method.
I think that's easier.
I do too. Yeah.
Oh, and mine came up that way when I wrote it. So
Did it? It comes up as method. There you go.
Mhm.
Thank you, Olivia.
Welcome.
All right. Let's do some consonant compounds. Okay. Here we go. And these are initial consonants, KW. Quail are not related to quadroons and quadrilles. She had quaint ideas about quick quacking ducks. When the queen came in, they quacked by quacking. Quakers settled in Pennsylvania quite frequently. If you have quality, you will quickly qualify. Have no qualms about the quizzes and the quarrels. The building was quarantined because of quizzical quail. The quarrels were numerous and quoted quarterly. Seek your query, quito. A quarterly publication is quite enough. The quartermaster furnishes supplies and quips. Quartz is semi-precious like quality quince. It was a quiet quasi-judicial meeting. His qualifications were quite questionable. The quartet quibbled and quabbled like quaddles. Quotas are not quoted in quotients or quotants. Sorry about that. Quicksilver is not quicksand or quartz. My companion had a quill and lived in a hut. Quintuplets quoted questions, quotants, and quips. Say it without quivering and quavering. All right. Last one. These are going to be initial consonants. GL. Here we go. The miser gloated over his glittering, gleaming gold. The glee club glanced at the gladiator. The glider glided off the glowing glacier. The glue and the glitter stuck to the glove. My glum turned to glee when she got her glad rags. A glimpse of the glamorous girl let me say that again. A glimpse of the glamorous girl drew glances. The glacial glacier gladdened the gleaner. Gladiators gladly glance at the gliders. I would gladly be glamorous. Don't glance through your glasses at the glitter. The glare of the glaring glasswork glitters. Her gloating over her glandular globes. That gleam is glued to the gloomy TV. Glucose is glowingly described as glorious. The glutton's gleam was glistening. They glided glibly on the glassy ice. Glow, little glowworm, gleam and glisten. Glaucoma glazes any glamour you might glean. All the glitter doesn't glow. They were gloating in the gloaming clouds. All right, so let's stop there and we'll read the rest of those tomorrow. Let's do some literary, and this is on student aid. Higher education. I'm going to start at 120 and I'll work my way to 160. Okay, all right, here we go. Ready? Mr. President, I wish to preface my remarks with a word of commendation for the members of the Senate who served on the conference committee. I was not one of those conferees and appropriately should not have been one of the conferees. However, members of the conference committee from the Senate who were not in accord with respect to an amendment I had offered fought zealously. They fought hard. They fought as hard as I possibly could have expected them to fight in order to support an amendment that had been adopted by the Senate, which I had offered, having to do with cutting back on some of the cost of the student loan programs. So none of my remarks here should in any way be interpreted as any criticism of the distinguished senator from Rhode Island, the distinguished senator from Vermont, the distinguished senator from New York, the distinguished senator from New Jersey, and others who served on that conference committee, and others as well. But I do rise in support of my colleagues on the budget committee because I think that no matter how we slice it, the action of the House of Representatives in remaining adamant and in remaining determined not to accept certain of the Senate amendments that would have affected cost savings was irresponsible. Some of those people who sat on that very committee, and that committee stood as a solid block, are the same people who make the best speeches in the country talking about balancing the budget. One of them, in fact, is from my own state of Ohio, and he prides himself on being one of the great conservatives of America, and he prides himself about balancing the budget and cutting out excessive spending. But the fact is that with respect to the amendment that I had offered and the Senate had accepted, he was adamant and maybe stronger than some of the others on that committee. The New York Times on July 21st, 2010 summarized this situation very well in an editorial entitled "Austerity Begins with Student Aid." They stated as follows: "There's plenty of cheap talk now in Congress and elsewhere about cutting government spending. Taxpayers will soon find out if the House is serious or if it remains determined to subsidize loans for college students who don't need the help. Income ceilings for these loans were abolished in 2008. Since then, government outlays have soared. Last November, before budget balancing became so popular on Capitol Hill, the House passed legislation enlarging the Student Assistance Program. But the new administration's pleas to curb the costs were finally heeded when the bill reached the Senate this summer. The measure it adopted is variously estimated to be $600 million to $5 billion cheaper over 5 years than the House version. We urge the Senate to stick to its cost-cutting guns in conference. The extravagant House bill leaves intact the liberalized limits and unbeatable borrowing rates authorized 2 years ago by the Middle Income Student Assistance Act. These terms have drawn thousands of new students into the programs. Children from affluent families would continue to qualify for interest-free government guaranteed loans while in college. On graduation, they could repay them at rates considerably below market rates. Direct government loans, which are dispensed according to the need, would be available as before at a low percent. The Senate has parted company with the House by raising rates on both kinds of loans. Borrowers who aren't needy would no longer get a free ride while in college. Interest charges incurred during that period would have to be paid later. The Senate also wants the government to become a much more active lender through a corporation to be called the National Direct Student Loan Association. The tougher Senate proposals would unburden the federal budget in several ways. The higher rates coupled with interest charges while in college would dissuade some borrowers who don't really need the government loans. And they would shrink the subsidies for those who do need help without imposing an intolerable repayment burden. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that the monthly payments of the typical borrower would rise only by only by $12 from $46 to $58. An enlarged direct loan program spares the government the expense of underwriting more costly market rate loans for the same students. The Senate approach is appealing also because it reasserts the principle which once governed each student assistance programs. That scarce public resource should be allocated according to the greatest need. Although the Senate opted not to reimpose income limits on guaranteed loans, its new emphasis on direct loans that do have ceilings is a step in the right direction. College costs are undeniably straining family incomes, but so too are taxes for programs that benefit those who don't really require government help. On student loans, the House could practice the austerity it so often preaches. Mr. President, my colleagues on the Budget Committee, both in the majority and the minority, have already addressed themselves to the issues that this bill presents us with. It is very difficult for anyone to stand on this floor to oppose legislation dealing with higher education. All of us, with no exceptions, support efforts to assist our home state colleges, universities, and the students as well. My own state of Ohio has an outstanding university program, both private and public, that benefits greatly from federal higher education programs. We are all familiar with students who have been assisted by the variety of grant and loan programs, and I am proud that many of them live in my own state. Our offices have all been contacted by banks and other lending institutions who benefit greatly from the loan programs authorized in this bill. Mr. President, as a supporter of higher education, I must question the cost of the programs authorized in this conference agreement. I am not opposed to higher education, and no member of the Senate that I know of is opposed to higher education. All right. Let's do some jury charge. These are general instructions because I'm going to start at 120 and I'll work my way to 160, just like I did in the last one, okay? All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will, of course, bear in mind that the defendant has pleaded not guilty And by that plea, the defendant denies all the charges. This defendant and no defendant in any court in the United States is not required to prove his innocence. For, as you can readily ascertain, it is sometimes impossible for a person to prove his innocence. And that is why, under our system of jurisprudence, it is incumbent upon the state to prove the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, as I previously explained that term to you. I also tell you that the fact that a defendant does not testify in his own behalf cannot and must not be considered against him under any circumstance or in any manner whatsoever. The failure of any defendant to take the witness stand and testify in his own behalf does not create any presumption against him. I tell you that you must not allow that to weigh in the slightest degree against the defendant. The fact that the defendant did not testify should not enter into your discussions or deliberations at all in any manner whatsoever. I told you at the beginning of this trial that you would be the sole judges of the facts in this case. It is my duty to rule on the admissibility of testimony, but the weight or the probative value of the evidence was for you to determine. It is your duty to weigh and consider the evidence so as to determine what the facts are from the testimony as you heard it from the witnesses on the witness stand. I cannot, and I hope I have not intimated to any of you how I may feel about the matter. It is not my prerogative. It is exclusively your function and responsibility. So I ask and say to you that if during the course of the trial I may have raised my voice or lowered my voice or turned my head one way or the other, it was not meant to indicate to you and did not, should not indicate to you how I feel about the case, because it would be highly improper for me to convey my feelings as to how I may feel about the matter, because you, the jury, are the judges of the facts and not me. I am the judge of the law, and as you are the judges of the facts, and you are to determine what the true facts are, and I accept that. You must accept what I say to you is the law, because you must accept the law as I give it to you, whether you agree with it or not. Being the judges of the facts, you must necessarily pass upon the credibility or the believability of the witnesses. In that regard, I tell you again that you have the right to believe one witness and disbelieve another. You have the right to believe one witness and disbelieve several, or believe several and disbelieve one. You have the right to accept or reject the entire testimony of any witness that you hear, if that be your view of the matter. You have the right to believe a part of what one witness says and disbelieve another part of the same witness's testimony. There should be a sound reason for your doing so. You would not want to act arbitrarily in that regard. In determining the credibility of the various witnesses, you may take into consideration their opportunities for observation, their ability to observe, the knowledge about the matters about which they have testified to. You may take into consideration any prejudice or bias or friendship or things of that nature that they may have or may not have, if any. You may also consider their demeanor or conduct on the witness stand. In fact, you may consider anything which, in your good judgment, tends to show whether or not a witness is telling the truth. It is your objective to find the truth. And having thus determined what the truth and facts are, then it is your duty to apply those true facts to the law as I gave it to you, and thus arrive at a true verdict. Whatever verdict the jury may determine would have to be unanimous. In this case, there can only be one of two verdicts, guilty or not guilty, whatever verdict the jury may determine. Now, on the back of this indictment in black, bold print, is the word verdict. And there are several lines. And then there is the word foreman. In that space, after the jury has made a determination of what the verdict is, you would record it in that space by writing the words guilty, if that be the verdict of the jury, or not guilty, if that be the verdict of the jury, and then sign your name as foreman. One more word, each of you. I am satisfied, are accustomed within your sphere of life to accommodating others. We accommodate our spouses, we accommodate our neighbors, we accommodate our friends, we accommodate business relations. That is a way and part of our lives, and properly so. But this is the one time in life that you are called upon to serve and find what the truth is, without regard to accommodating anybody. It is not your function to accommodate the state or to accommodate the defendant. It is not your function to base your verdict because you feel a certain loyalty to the state or you feel a certain sympathy toward the defendant or vice versa. Your objective in this matter is to find the truth, apply the truth to the law as I gave it to you, and find your verdict, whether it be guilty or not guilty. And thus, having spoken the truth, then you owe no apology to anyone at all. Everyone in this case, the state and the defendant, is entitled to justice. They are entitled to justice and nothing more and nothing less. All right. Get on with some Q&A. Start off with the easier one, and then we'll go into a more challenging one. Okay. All right, so I'll start at 120, and we're going to work our way to 160. Okay, how are we doing on time? Good. All right, this is defense questioning. This is the dog bite case again we've been working on. Okay, here we go. I am assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, that seatbelt was this is not the dog bite. I'm sorry, this car accident. The seatbelt was a 3-point seatbelt that went across the shoulder and attached next to your hip. Yes. Do you know if at the time of the impact, Iris was turning into the number 1 lane? No. Do you know that she was in the number 2 lane and was not making any turning movements at that time? Correct. Can you tell me how long she had been in the number 2 lane before the accident occurred? No, I can't. If you were to want to get in touch with Iris, do you know how you'd go about it now? Now? No. I know she works for some airline company, but that's about it. What does she do for the airline company? I don't know if she was a flight stewardess or if she works for the ticket agency. I'm not sure. Does she work in Ontario? I don't know. I can't say. Does she work out of Reno? I can't say. I haven't talked to her for a while now, so I'm not in any contact with her. Do you know anybody that knows her as well? Well, yes, her brother. Where does her brother live? I don't know. I haven't seen him in a long time. Did he live with her at the time of the accident? Yes. The police report says she was on Larkford. Do you know if her brother still lives there? No, I don't. What is her brother's name? David. How old is David? Since the last time I seen him, he was 17. How long ago has it been since you've seen him? Probably since the last time I saw her. Can you be more definite? More than a year. After the accident first occurred, can you tell me if your body moved at all inside the vehicle? Yes, it did. I'm talking about just the front, the first jolt. Can you describe the motion of your body? Well, I swung towards the right because I hit my head on the window towards the right, on the right side. I'll get to that. Now, in which direction was your head turned at the time of that first impact? This way, towards the right. You were turned. Which way was your face turned? Well, I looked at the car. It was over your left shoulder. It was over my left shoulder. That's when I saw the car coming towards her side. That's when he hit it. And I just turned to the front, and that's when the car hit her. That's when my neck turned towards the right. At the moment of impact, where were you looking? I was looking towards the left side, and that's when I told her, oh, they're going to hit you. She's all, oh no, they're not. She couldn't see towards her left side. When I looked straight, and that's when they rammed and my neck went towards the right. Now, is there anything that attracted your attention to the Jeep before you became aware or you thought they were going to hit your car? I was talking to her, and that's when I saw it. That's what attracted my attention because he was right next to us, really close. That's what attracted me towards seeing towards the back. And then you turned your head towards the front after she said, no, they're not going to hit us. Yes, I was looking straight at the road. Then your body kind of lunged to the right. Right. Is that fair, or did it twist? No, it lunged. Did any portion of your body come in contact with any portion of the interior of the vehicle? At that time, no, I don't recall. You mentioned earlier that you hit your head or something. It hit towards like the window. Did it hit the window? Yes, it did. It hit my forehead, side of my head. Do you know if Iris did anything in a turning movement at or about the moment of impact? No, I don't. Do you know if she applied her brakes? No, I don't. Do you know if she accelerated? No. Other than your head hitting the window, did any other part of your body hit any other portion of the interior of the vehicle? No. As a result of your head hitting the window, did you notice if any glass was broken? Well, it didn't break it, but it cracked the windshield. Did you receive any cuts? Yes, on my forehead. Did you take any stitches in your forehead? Yes, I did. Right across my forehead, right here. And do you know what part of the vehicle came in contact with your forehead? No, I cannot say that. So the side of your head hit the window. Is that correct? Correct. But you don't know what hit your forehead? No. Okay, now at the moment of impact or shortly thereafter, did Iris's vehicle move from the left to the right at all? Yes. Where did she go? We were in the second lane and her car moved. It went from the second to the third to the fourth lane, and it came back up across, back up the third, second, first lane. That's when it hit the middle, the center divider, and then we swung back over across to the slow lane. Do you have any estimate of the speed that you were traveling at the time the vehicles collided? No, I don't. I know we were going fast. Did your vehicle come in contact with any other vehicle other than the Jeep that you've described? No, I can't remember. You recall that your vehicle did come in contact with the divider. Is that correct? Correct. What portion of your vehicle came in contact with the divider? I don't recall. It was so fast. Was it the front part of your car or the back part of the car? I don't know. But you're sure it hit the divider? Yes. Did your car stop after it hit the divider? No, it kept going. It turned. We spun around like 4 times or more. Then we hit again, the middle divider again. And then we spun across the lanes back over to the slow lane. All right, so we'll stop there and switch transcripts. Okay. All right. This is going to be the court case that we've been working on, the drug case, and it's like a gang. There was like a fight, a shooting with a gang. So I worked my way up to 160. So I will go ahead and just keep it at 160, okay? All right. And it looks like plaintiff is questioning. Here we go. Okay, how would you describe those male individuals? One of them, I only saw one of them. He was light-skinned. He was in the second person. He was talking like, not Spanish, but with like a thick voice. And then he said, "Where are you from?" And then he said, "East Side Margarita, ESM." So it's like, you know. Okay, what happened after they were trying to put the item around your head? I was like, I couldn't fight back at all because they had put a zip tie on it. That's when I couldn't move. They put a zip tie where? On my hand. Where on your hands? Like right here on both. Were your 2 wrists bound together with a zip tie? I think it was 2 of them or 1. I saw 2 of them. I don't remember. Were your wrists bound together? Like this. In this manner? Yeah. Yes? Yes. Could you show us how your wrists were bound together? I was laying down on like this, laying down on the floor. So you put both your hands behind your back? Yeah. Are you saying that when your wrists were bound together, they were behind your back? Yes. What happened after they bound your wrists behind your back? Well, they were telling me, "Where is the money?" I was like, "I don't have any money." I was like telling them, and they said, "Oh no, where's the money?" They were screaming at me, and one of them started kicking me on the side, and then he grabbed a stick and was hitting me on my back too. Could you see the individual that was kicking you? No, he was wearing some white shoes, Nikes, I think. That's what he was wearing. That's what I saw. Could you see the individual that was hitting you with the stick? No. Do you know how many times you were kicked? I think like more than 4 times. I know that for a fact. Do you know how many times you were hit with the stick? Like 3 times. Where on your body were you hit with the stick? On my back, my whole entire back. Where on your body were you kicked? Right here on this side. Would that be your right side? Left side. Oh, I'm sorry. Left side. Okay. So on your left side, you said right here, you were indicating towards your right, your rib cage. Yeah, that's where I got kicked. So after you were kicked and after you were hit with the stick, then what happened? Oh, then that's when they went through the rooms, all 3 rooms in the house. They broke the doors, each one, and they took my PS2, a 360, a cell phone, some speakers, and they even took a stereo that was Jeannie Ramirez's with the speakers. What else? Oh, and my laptop. What kind of laptop was it? Just an HP. Did they take any other items? Oh, and tools. What type of tools? Mechanical tools for a mechanic. Do you know specifically what the tools are? They are all kinds of tools. There was a whole bag where they took. Anything else that was taken? That's about it. When you said they were going in the rooms of the house, who did you mean by they? The guy who kicked me on my left side. He was one of them who went in, but there was another guy. I don't know who had the thick voice. He was kicking me still, and he was telling me not to move. If not, he was going to kill me. And where did you see Jeannie Ramirez during that time? When everything started, she walked through where the table is towards the rooms. Did you see her go into any of the rooms? No, I just saw her. She went in through the first door, and from there it goes into the other rooms. So is it your testimony that you saw her go in the direction of where the other rooms were located in the house? Yes. Did you know either of the males that came into your residence as having a relationship with Jeannie Ramirez? No. Okay. One thing, I knew that. Objection, Your Honor. No question pending. Sustained. Do you remember talking to the police after this incident occurred? Yes. Did you tell the police that one of the male persons that entered your house was Jeannie's boyfriend? No. Did Jeannie ever say anything to you during the course of this incident? I think she did, told me. I forgot what she told me. You remember she said something to you, right? Yeah. When did that happen? Like at the beginning, before I got kicked and all that stuff. Were you standing up when Jeannie made the statement to you? No. Where were you located physically? On the ground next to the sofa. Who else was in the room when Jeannie made the statement to you? I think it was the guy who had me held down, because one of them, the guy, had me held down on the ground. Yes. He was holding you on the ground? Yes. Do you remember, even if you don't remember exactly what Jeannie told you, do you remember what she was talking about when she was making the statement to you? She said something about that. She told me that something about her homies. I told you, or something like that. All right, so let's do a little bit of read back. All right. This is going to be plaintiff questioning. And I will read this at 160, then 140, and then again at 120. Okay. And you're going to hear 45-degree angle, function, estimate, extended, downward, Mr. Morris, Mr. Warren, pickup truck, assistance, render, backup unit, and then period of time, which is PFT. All right, here we go. Okay, 160. Hold on, let me wind up my watch. Okay, here we go. When you stopped this vehicle, did the police unit stop in back of it or alongside of it or in front of it, or how? In back of it. Did you and Mr. Morris both leave the police vehicle? Yes, sir, we did. Did you have your guns drawn? Yes, sir, I did. Did Mr. Morris go to one side and you go to the other side of the pickup truck? No, sir. Did you order Mr. Warren out of the truck? Yes, sir. Now, when Mr. Warren was ordered out of the truck, tell us how he got out of his vehicle. He got out of his vehicle with his hands in front of him. With his hands extended, they were extended upward. At about a 45-degree angle, I would estimate. Palms downward? Yes, sir. Approximately what period of time elapsed from the time of the call until the arrival of the backup unit? The backup unit arrived, I would say, approximately 2 minutes after we stopped Mr. Warren in his vehicle. And that backup unit, the function of the officers in the unit would be to take care of the vehicle. Is that correct? Yes, sir. And render any assistance that we might need. What time of night was this approximately? It would have been approximately 11:50. Are you sure it was 11:50? Well, I looked at my watch. Okay, let's do it again at 1:40. Here we go. When you stopped this vehicle, did the police unit stop in back of it or alongside of it or in front of it, or how? In back of it. Did you and Mr. Morris both leave the police vehicle? Yes, sir, we did. Did you have your guns drawn? Yes, sir, I did. Did Mr. Morris go to one side and you go to the other side of the pickup truck? No, sir. Did you order Mr. Warren out of the truck? Yes, sir. Now, when Mr. Warren was ordered out of the truck, tell us how he got out of his vehicle. He got out of his vehicle with his hands in front of him. With his hands extended, they were extended upward. At about a 45-degree angle, I would estimate. Palms downward? Yes, sir. Approximately what period of time elapsed from the time of the call until the arrival of the backup unit? The backup unit arrived, I would say, approximately 2 minutes after we stopped Mr. Warren in his vehicle. And that backup unit, the function of the officers in the unit, would be to take care of the vehicle. Is that correct? Yes, sir. And render any assistance that we might need. What time of night was this approximately? It would have been approximately 11:50. Are you sure it was 11:50? Well, I looked at my watch. All right. Last time at 1:20. Here we go. When you stopped this vehicle, did the police unit stop in back of it, or alongside of it, or in front of it, or how? In back of it. Did you and Mr. Morris both leave the police vehicle? Yes, sir, we did. Did you have your guns drawn? Yes, sir, I did. Did Mr. Morris go to one side and you go to the other side of the pickup truck? No, sir. Did you order Mr. Warren out of the truck? Yes, sir. Now, when Mr. Warren was ordered out of the truck, tell us how he got out of his vehicle. He got out of his vehicle with his hands in front of him. With his hands extended, they were extended upward at about a 45-degree angle, I would estimate. Palms downward? Yes, sir. Approximately what period of time elapsed from the time of the call until the arrival of the backup unit? The backup unit arrived, I would say, approximately 2 minutes after we stopped Mr. Warren in his vehicle. And that backup unit, the function of the officers in the unit would be to take care of the vehicle. Is that correct? Yes, sir. And render any assistance that we might need. What time of night was this approximately? It would have been approximately 11:50. Are you sure it was 11:50? Well, I looked at my watch. All right. So if you guys want, we can each take a Q and an A. Okay. Just let me know if, like, when you find your spot.
I'm ready.
You
I'm
ready?
ready. I'm ready.
Okay. Ready, Catherine? Okay. All right. Would someone like to go first?
I'll start it, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Plaintiff, when you stopped this vehicle, did the police unit stop in back of it, or alongside of it, or in front of it, or how? Answer in back of it.
Awesome.
I can do the next one.
Okay.
Question. Did you and Mr. Morris both leave the police vehicle? Answer. Yes, sir. We did.
Awesome.
Question, did you have your guns drawn? Answer, yes, sir, I did.
Question, did Mr. Morris go to one side and you go to the other side of the pickup truck? Answer, no, sir.
Awesome job.
Question. Did you order Mr. Warren out of the truck? Answer. Yes, sir.
Awesome job.
Question, now, when Mr. Warren was ordered out of the truck, tell us how he got out of his vehicle. Answer, he got out of his vehicle with his hands in front of him.
Awesome
Question.
job.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
A question, with his hands extended. Answer, they were extended upward. Is it upward?
Yep, upward. Perfect.
Okay.
Word. Okay, question. At a 45-degree angle? Answer. I would estimate.
Good. And the only thing that you didn't say was about.
Oh,
You have a
Oh,
better,
you know what? Oh, I probably have that, but I know that I was struggling there.
that's, I know that,
So,
that was
yeah,
kind of the weird part of the Q&A. That was the tough part.
because I know that I didn't get a lot of the extended and palms down and all that. So,
Yeah. Yes. But great job. Great job.
thank you.
Question, palms downward, answer yes, sir.
Question, I got approximately what period of time elapsed from the time of the call until the arrival of the backup unit? Answer, backup unit arrived, I would approximately 2 minutes after we stopped Mr. Warren in his vehicle.
Good. The only thing you were missing is say. Just say.
Oh, okay,
I would say. Everything
Okay.
else is perfect.
okay.
Question, and that backup unit would be to take care of the vehicle. Error.
Do you have, is that correct?
That's what it is. Okay, is that correct?
That's okay.
Answer, yes, sir. And render any assistance that we might need.
Awesome job. The only thing that you were missing is there were dashes. So, and that backup unit and the dashes, the function of the officers in the unit.
Oh,
But then everything else is perfect. Would be, you know, what you said.
okay.
Perfect.
Question, what time of night was this approximately? Answer, it would have been approximately 11:50.
Question, are you sure it was 11:50? Answer, well, I looked at my watch.
Perfect, you guys. Hey, Olivia, I like your little sign in the back there. It says, I'm a victor, not a victim.
Yeah,
I like
yeah, my
that.
daughter, thank you. My daughter gave me that. She went to, when she went to Magic Mountain years ago, she bought it for me.
I love that.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Yes, yes,
I love it.
thank you.
very cool.
Well, you
Yeah.
guys, you did great with read back.
Thank
Awesome
you.
Yay,
job.
thank you.
Pat yourself on the back.
Woohoo!
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. And if you can attend tomorrow morning, we'll do mid speeds again tomorrow morning at 9. And then again, tomorrow evening will be high speeds.
Okay,
Yeah, from 5 to 6.
okay.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Alrighty.
Jill.
Thank you.
Have a good night, you guys.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Have a great night.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.